month, dozens of games release on the PS4 and Xbox One. But did you know creative developers still make games for 30-year-old consoles like Sega Genesis or the Nintendo Entertainment System? In this video, we take a look at games that have been published in recent years, but are released on a cartridge for those ancient beasts. So get ready, because here are 10 reasons to dust off your old consoles to play some of these new original games. Pier and the Great Architects is probably one of the most famous games in our video. The role-playing game was first released on the Mega Drive and was enhanced for a release on the Xbox One and PS4.
Over 50 hours of gameplay, discover more about Pier deep story and journey to new places as you embark in the director's cut.
The story's about Houston and his two friends looking for a herb to cure his father. But of course, their adventure becomes much more than that, as things often go in the world of role-playing games. A fetch quest is never just a fetch quest. Unless you're playing an MMO, of course.
So journey forth towards a miraculous adventure with Pier and the Great Architects.
Just like Pier, Paprium is made by Watermelon Games. Paprium's a side-scrolling brawler inspired by games like Final Fight and Double Dragon. This brawler really pushes the Genesis to its limits. Paprium features 5 playable characters and over 24 levels. It's set during the aftermath of a great nuclear war in a city that's a mix between Shanghai, Tokyo and Pyongyang. It's one of those games that really uses everything the system has to offer. A built-in chip makes sure it can run at 60 frames per second with 16-bit pixelated graphics. But we can all agree that Paprium looks awesome. Star Versus is a competitive 1v1 shooter made for the 35-year-old Nintendo Entertainment System. That's right, this is a brand new game for your NES. Each player controls a spaceship trying to kill their opponent in something that closely resembles a bullet hell shooter. This NES game features 4 different arenas and several options to configure your battles. It really is a great game for those nostalgic gaming sessions with your friends lying on the couch eating junk food. If you're into fighting games, Unholy Night, the Darkness Hunter is the game for you. This game, for the Super Nintendo, is made by former developers of SNK. This game features a story, versus, survival and practice mode. And of course, it can be played with 2 players. Every character has different attacks and different specials. Once you get better, you can combine attacks into smooth combos. Even though the game looks solid, it might be difficult to beat Street Fighter 2 as our all-time favorite Super Nintendo fighting game. What's the fun of making homebrew games if you limit yourself to the traditional mechanics of old-school games? That's why we're thankful we can include Super Russian Roulette in this video. This NES game would never be allowed by Nintendo because it's a drinking game. You and your friends get to play Russian Roulette together with a virtual cowboy, and the one who loses needs to take a shot.
Hell at you! I'ma call you Blood and Muscle. Come on, everyone, say it with me. Bloody Muscle. Bloody Muscle. Ah!
To play Super Russian Roulette, you would need to own a zapper. You know, the gun from Duck Hunt. I guess the title now really makes sense. Who's up for playing this game next Friday night?
What?
Kira Star Night DX is really a game for collectors. And it's based on early arcade platform games. Some consider it more of a fan service than a truly full game. But it's been released on an original Famicom cartridge nonetheless. The game's about a young girl named Fami-chan. She has to jump around in levels to catch stars. Your goal is to reach a certain number of stars before time runs out. Kira Star Night DX features 9 stages, but it's definitely not the hardest game out there. Before Columbus Circle released Kira Nightstar DX, they published 8-bit Music Power, also for the Famicom. But this isn't a real game. Sure, it was released on a Famicom cartridge, but it's actually a mixtape with chiptune music. The music program can only be played on the Nintendo Famicom. Eight-bit Music Power features 12 original songs. It has works from people who made music for games like Bandai Namco, Sony, and Namco arcade machines. It's very niche, but that also makes it kind of cool. Battle Kid 2 Mountain of Torment for the NES is a great tribute to those old-school platformers. Think, venture through a giant mountain base to unlock new powers and battle enemies. Battle Kid 2 has over 650 rooms, more than 20 enemies, and 13 boss battles. This really is a challenging game, and it looks pretty nice too. This hardcore platformer also has a built-in password system, 5 difficulty settings, and a death counter to keep track of just how much you suck. Thankfully, those NES controllers are basically indestructible. Am I right?
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
I found something.
Oh?
Eskimo Bob was originally a cartoon series made by 2 brothers, but thanks to some crowdfunding, a NES game was born. It's a simple platformer that doesn't look as awesome as Battle Kid 2. However, it may be a great nostalgia piece for those who watched the animation series back in the early 2000s. You know, when Newgrounds was the place to be and nobody had even heard about YouTube. Eskimo Bob was crowdfunded for a NES cartridge release, but you can also find the game on Steam if you are really interested. Mystic Searches is a new adventure game for the NES. It looks a lot like Zelda, but with some mechanics inspired by platform games. You are a musician who needs to undo the actions of an evil sorceress. Mystic Searches is full of puzzles, dungeons, and you'll learn a variety of magic spells to help you on your journey. In the end, you need to restore control to the supernatural elements, or the world will be destroyed. Please note that some of the games mentioned in this list are still in development. Also, don't expect to find all of these games on Amazon. Most of these independent productions are sold on the developer's own website, so go look them up if you're interested. They can be awesome pieces to collect, especially the ones that are super limited. And there you have it, 10 modern games made for consoles that are decades old. Do you still buy or play any of these old school games? Has the release and success of the NES Mini inspired you to dive back into your old school gaming? Let us know in the comments, as we would love to hear your side on this. Maybe we should do more videos on retro gaming. If that's the case, let us know, and we'll do it.
Where are you going, tumbling turkey? Come here!
Super Russian Roulette. Pull up a chair and rustle up some virtual nihilism, partner.